How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days blessed our screens way back with the message of authenticity. Be yourself and get the right guy. Because there is the universal truth of love. The right person might be a little bit spooked at the beginning.
First time that we had sex, I cried. I even told him that I loved him. Kept calling him. It was the best week of my life.
But they will accept all of you.
Hi.
They will love you despite your crazy.
Michelle, I want it back.
Really though? Really? Because crazy be crazy.
I used Photoshop at work today to composite our faces together to see what our kids would look like.
Not only did this message come in a little bit of a wonky way, but also it came with a bunch of other messaging that is kind of not good for our relationships, especially if we want to have a healthy one.
Bullshit.
You know how we do it? We narrate, we analyze, we often judge, and we do believe that we know better and would do better, okay? Okay. Hopefully. You know, back in the day, before I knew what routines were, I had my own routine. I would go to my favorite cafe, I would order coffee, and then I would be ready to learn what it means to be a woman. And Cosmopolitan was my best friend. It taught me how to take care of my skin, my hair, how to look cute, how to be sassy. It also taught me how to give a good blowjob, which I don't know why I needed at 16. It was my me time before we knew what me time means. Now Andy is that girl.
Do blondes, do they really have more fun?
Do you need a hot body? Andy is testing it and she will tell you all about it. Do you know how to use your charm to get out of your ticket? Andy is on it.
Going little, that guy deserves
Testing and delivering. Do you need to know about what's happening in the world so you can be the intelligent one when you're hanging out with the boys? Well, that's something Andy can't tell you. And this, it hurts.
I want to read about things that matter.
Because Andy, she wants to teach the women of the 90s about the struggles of Tajikistan and let them know how we could bring peace. Oh yeah, Andy, she is actually an intelligent woman. That's why she doesn't understand why can't she just do that in the most famous beauty/fashion/women's magazine in the town.
Andy, you work at Composure magazine.
It's a true mystery. I wish someone would tell Andy that there are women around the world who genuinely appreciate the me time and the little women stuff.
Bullshit.
And if the name itself wasn't clue enough of how much one of the boys Andy is, the excitement she feels when she gets those Knicks tickets should be quite a clue of how much not a girly's girl she is. Hey, don't be judgy now. A tall, super attractive, blonde woman can very much be more interested in sports than she is in how to use the right lipstick. Kind of makes you wonder if the result of her looking like that is because of the women's magazines.
Bullshit.
Now, there is also the men's version of the cool girl that was shoved down our throats and left us with a lot of expectations that we had to relearn later on in life.
Bullshit.
No, emotionally unavailable man is not gonna totally change and become all about love once you let him walk all over you and wait it out until he finally realizes that it has been you, the one who he's been waiting on for his whole life. Damn, that was a sentence. Ben is a cool guy, a biker. And unlike all of his one-night stands, he never did learn about true love. Ben is working in advertising, and despite his bread and butter being beer and sports, he's actually trying to dip his toes in the jewelry market. The problem is he has competition, women. And despite his colleagues maybe understanding more the target audience, aka women.
I am the man that's going to bring this home for you.
Yeah, Ben, we get it. But, women are trying to also be business leader, in the patriarchal world. And
Bullshit.
Andy, though, she's not successful with getting what she believes she deserves. Because her boss is just an evil little woman who only cares about shit like what your gynecologist doesn't tell you.
Which is also pretty scary, but upbeat.
Yes, ladies, back then we were also told that gyno stuff is yuck. What else do you want to learn about? The effects of menopause? But she does negotiate to be a helpful friend. You see her friend Michelle, the one that got dumped because she was just a little bit too cray-cray.
Hi.
And she was like, you know what? I'm gonna use Michelle's story and talk about,
How to lose a guy in 10 days.
because look, Michelle is like many of us. Wonderful woman who maybe just does a little bit of oopsies and that drives the guy away. She can't really keep a relationship. But if Andy tests what are the things that drive men away,
Clingy, needy.
Be touchy-feely.
that will be a useful read to their audience. All she needs to do is find a guy, make him fall for her, and then
Pull the switch. Before the 10 days are up, I'm gonna have this guy running for his life.
and become the monster men are afraid of. You know, you might know it as the classics of toxic relationships when it's all good at the beginning and then suddenly everything just goes down and you're just looking at this person waiting for the good things to come back again. Something like that. Andy's version is a little bit lighter. She's gonna hook up with the guy one day and then turn the switch the next day. So, safer. And while she's out and about with her friends looking for her target, it has been chosen for her. You see, mysteriously, in the world of soulmates and true love, Ben is at the same freaking party. He actually just crashed, appeared, sabotaged. I don't know what's the word.
But you weren't invited.
Yeah, but I should have been. I mean, it was my tip.
His boss has a little bit more logical approach. Ben shouldn't be so hard on himself. I mean, women. Who gets them?
No man does.
Though, let's be fair, Ben is apparently different. He loves women. Doesn't matter the age.
I do, whether they're 4, 40, or my 88.
And yes, if you puked a little bit there, you would be sane because a 4-year-old girl is not a woman. Sneaky, sneaky Hollywood, huh? It's actually very disturbing. Ben respects women. Ben listens to women. That's why he's never been with one more than one night, even though he is in his 30s. He stays away from them so they can experience other people. So while Ben is presented as someone who is facing injustice just because he is a man, the true villains are the women.
Selling a diamond to a woman is like making her fall in love. Desperate.
And usually a woman is desperate when she is in love. So, you know. And yes, it does feel like a man wrote those lines. But to bring it up a notch, these two women will go a step further to exploit another woman. They want Ben to prove that he can make a woman fall in love with him in the next 10 days.
That's cocky, Ben.
No, not cocky. Confident.
And they know just the target, Lil Miss Andy, because flashback, they actually talk to her and they know that she's making a piece on how to lose a guy in 10 days. And voila, Andy and Ben meet and they hit it off from the get-go. They both speak robo-tongue.
Unattached?
Currently.
Psycho?
Rarely. Interested?
If someone would talk to me like that, I would be looking for a medic because is someone having a stroke? Though Andy has a little bit of a problem. You see, she is expected to jump on that monster. The bike. I'm talking about the bike. Pervert. But you do what you got to do. Look cute in a helmet. Next stop, some good old hand action. Lobster. They're cracking and eating a lobster. Just another thing cool women do. They're not afraid to get a dirty. The date is actually going very well. They're funny, they poke at each other. Andy needs to prove herself a little bit, but you know, typical.
Saving the world one shopaholic at a time, eh?
I have a master's in journalism from Columbia.
Andy has one last question. It's the second one of the 3 she said she's gonna ask him. But you know, girl math. She looks Ben straight in his eyes. True or false?
All is fair in love and war.
True.
Great answer.
Yeah, we are looking at 2 very dangerous people. I'm sure they wouldn't torture anyone if the opportunity came. It's time to go to Ben's place. Now, while Andy is powdering her nose in the bathroom, aka calling her girlfriends to say what a sucker she scored, Ben is setting the mood. And as he is pleased with the setup, a light bulb goes off. Wait. I'm trying to make her fall in love with me.
A diamond. is a long-term commitment.
Which kind of, messes the whole situation up for Andy, because her strategy was to, make him want it, make him go after her.
I'm gonna dangle the bait.
Wait, what's the bait?
I'm the bait, Michelle.
And then she pulls back, which makes a man go crazy. They like us pure. She stops him in the middle of kissing.
I want you to respect me.
And Ben remembers that, oh yeah, that's also my tactic.
I do, and I want your respect.
So they respect each other. And that's why they won't have sex, because that's what that means. If you've been here, you know my stance when it comes to equating intimacy with what kind of person someone is. It is okay if you have preferences regarding being intimate in a certain period of time with the person that you want to get to know, date, whatever. That's totally fine. But when it gets a little bit risky and very deceiving is when you assign certain meaning to that. Someone is serious about this relationship or serious about you when they show consistent commitment, when they show wanting to get to know you, not if they want to hook up with you or not hook up with you. So Andy and Ben decide not to take it further because they both respect each other, okay? And they're also secretly, individually very happy that the bait is set.
Oh, you are already falling in love with me.
Poor guy.
And honestly, Ben couldn't be happier. What are the odds that the person they chose for him to fall in love with is someone who is actually very amazing? I mean, she knows how to speak his language, Robotongue. She's not worried about being messy. She's not afraid of him. She knows how to joke. And she also challenges him a little bit. Not too much though. Let's keep in line.
Hanging with her for 10 days is going to be no problem.
It's time to step number 2. Reassure that you keep on dating. And Andy's attempt of leaving her purse behind, well, it works magically. Is he afraid of the purse a little bit? Yes, he is. I mean, he is a man.
There are many dark and dangerous things in there that we, the male species, should know nothing about.
Honestly, I don't know what was the point of the purse. We could say it's just like a comedy aspect for the movie. But if we go a little bit deep, because that's how we do it here, it could be a representation of how Ben is actually quite afraid of women. And he likes to keep them at distance. Luckily for Ben, though, there are women out there whose sole mission and purpose is to showcase emotionally unavailable men that we are not that scary. Though hopefully those women wake up from their nightmares. I know I had to wake up from mine. And I came to a conclusion that, yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. At a certain point, you need to look at yourself, you need to look at the other person and say, hey, this might be personal responsibility. I need to work on myself to be, comfortable, opening, vulnerable, trusting. And maybe, just maybe, the other person should do the same. Do you know how much precious time you are wasting in building a healthy partnership if you need to start by learning the basics? Let's meet when the basics are solid and then we can build even more. How about that? But a little push and bingo. Andy is not only cute, amazing, fun, cool, I don't know what. Beth, she also likes Knicks. Score.
Knicks tickets.
Ben should start worrying if he is gonna be the one to fall in love.
Bullshit, mama.
Now, Ben is going with the usual approach when it comes to Andy. He's cocky, he's confident, he's cool like that because, women dig it.
Sorry, though, I'm going to the game with somebody else.
Not anymore. Subconsciously, you are dying to take me to that game.
We can't really know if women really dig that. I mean, I have an idea. If a guy would talk to me like that, I would be like, pee. The thing is that Andy needs him to be into her so she can then, flip the switch and be all crazy on him. But Ben doesn't know that and he feels like a king.
And that's how it's done.
Now, there's an interesting metaphor or view that we can look at this situation, and it is when two people approach relationships from the perspective of being chosen. You go to a date and instead of actually focusing to get to know one another, you're focusing on how that person is gonna like you. They're both performing, they both feel chosen, and despite thinking that it's real, they're both in it because they have their own agendas. In the movie, literally, but in our case, it could just simply be being chosen. Andy's happy that her trap worked well. And she's also kind of surprised about the 100 flowers she just received at her work from the new mysterious guy.
More beautiful than 100 roses.
Now, let me ask you something. If you would receive 100 flowers from a guy that you just met, how would you feel about it? Like, I'm gonna be honest, I would feel a little bit special. I would feel like, oh, okay, I am that girl. But then I would sit down and then I would journal. Why do I get together with guys who are clearly love bombing me? Huh? What is up with that? Like, let's be clear here, right? If you send me a flower, okay, good. Nice attention. You are maybe romantic. I'm not gonna translate that into, oh my God, he wants to marry me, but I'm gonna appreciate it. But if you send me 100 flowers, then you're compensating for something and it's creepy. It's not cute. So the two of them decide to go to Nick's game, and honestly, they're both enjoying it. Like, this is Andy's thing. She prefers screaming at the game much more than learning about fashion and gynecologists. And Ben is impressed. She's not like the other girls. She's not delicate. She can swear. Now, just one thing. I'm making a lot of fun about how Andy is presented as this cool girl, like the man or like one of the boys and so on. And I just want to say, you can be however you want to be. Just don't apply a certain worth to a person because of that, you know? That now you need to be this way because men will like you more. Or you need to be more feminine because, again, men will like you more. Just be who you want to be secure in that, and that's it. Now, despite Ben being quite impressed of how amazing of a woman Andy is, it is time for her to flip the switch. And she is in need of a little soda. It's a first no-no in every relationship. Being a needy woman. And Andy is going the extra mile. So Ben goes again because, he needs to showcase that he would do everything for this new woman he just met.
Too bad you missed it.
So we have Andy, who is basically being very needy because that is a short thing to drive a man away. And on the other hand, we have Ben, who believes that he needs to be extra accommodating and never say no because that's the only way a woman will fall for him. Besides this being a movie and exaggerated, there is something to say about where is the actual limit. The first thing is timing, okay? I get it. You should do everything for the person you love, and the other person should do the same. But have we heard about boundaries? Have we heard about respecting one another, respecting each other's time? If you're asking your partner to clean the dishes right this second, even though you see them working, take a step back, reevaluate. Being aware of context, of timing, when you're asking for something and how the other person responds to it, makes a huge difference. So let's not ignore that. Now, on the deeper layer, if someone never accommodates you, never does anything that you ask them to do, then that's also fishy, okay? If we're trying to build partnership, then shouldn't we kind of balance it out? And maybe sometimes you don't want to do something that I really want to do, and you just simply do it because you want to support me in that moment, you want to make me feel happy. That shouldn't be a problem. That's just loving your partner. Now, if I go on Ben's side and, look at it from the perspective almost like as people pleasing, if you're always saying yes because you were raised with this belief that that makes you a good partner, you'll keep on doing whatever the other person tells you to do. And inevitably, it will start to feel like you always do things for them, and that will make you feel resentful, and it won't be good for the relationship. What's important in these situations is that there is a healthy balance, okay? I do sometimes for you, you do sometimes for me. But if it is we always need to change ourselves to accommodate that partner, then we need to talk a little bit about compatibility, or vice versa. If we never want to do it, then it's again, how much are you actually ready to build something with the other person? Despite Ben feeling not the best about how the game went down and how she made him miss a perfect ending, you gotta do what you gotta do to win that job. Andy actually calls him at his work and she misses him.
It's me!
Again, this is a movie, but if someone would do that in real life, I mean, yeah, now take a step back.
Boy, you know what? I miss you too.
They agree on a movie night, and you know what she will pick? You know what is the no-no? What guys hate the most, according to TV? Chick flick marathon.
It's my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah, me too.
It's not going well because somehow, mysterious to everyone, Ben actually likes the movie they're watching.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
Is she learning that Ben himself is not like the other guys? So she needs to go to the next level.
What are you thinking about?
Not gonna lie, I felt called out. Because yes, I be the type that's gonna ask about what are you thinking. Sometimes when I'm watching a movie, I just need to know what the person is thinking. Are they reading what I'm reading? And sometimes I annoy my partner with it because he just wants to enjoy a nice show and he doesn't want to do a deep psychological dive in it. It's our little quirk. Ben wants to enjoy the movie, but Andy is persistent. And if you think that she's gonna fall for that he doesn't think about anything...
Oh, so I suppose your mind is a complete blank.
And yes, I can relate again. I have problems, I guess.
Who is she?
Yeah, that I don't relate to, and I was confused. Ben was confused.
Who's who?
The girl you're thinking about.
You got it. The next relationship no-no is jealousy. Is Andy acting a little bit cray-cray? Yes, she is. But there is something to say regarding jealousy in a relationship, especially in the context of what does it mean? Is it your fault? Is it your partner's fault? Who should journal? I think there are always two sources of jealousy. One is your own lack of self-worth, and that's something that it is good to work on it as your own person, right? Now, of course, your partner can always help that or make it even worse. The other side is that your relationship or your partner is actually feeding that insecurity. The way they treat you, the way they don't treat you. If, let's say, you are an affectionate person, if you like to hear words of affirmations and your partner is never giving you that, then you could start feeling insecure. A good partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever, will care about how their actions are making you feel secure or insecure in the relationship. Because if the aim is that we have a good relationship, then I would want you to feel good. Saying that though, all of this is still in the context of the boundaries that reassure that I'm taking care of my well-being. Because if someone is jealous, they never really work on it, they never really address it, or the only way they address it is what are you doing to make them jealous? That's basically just using jealousy as a way to control you. And in this case, Ben is reassuring her.
I'm sitting here thinking about how damn beautiful.
Now again, reassurance is good, but it shouldn't shut down the conversation. It should open it so you can understand each other better. Saying to someone, hey, baby, don't worry. You're everything to me. Yeah, feels good, but if there's no follow-up question, why do you feel this way? Am I doing something to make you feel this way? How can we understand this better? Then it's again just an easy way to park it. Now, because Ben is not dumping Andy, even though she's a crazy jealous girlfriend, she needs to do the next step. And it is the feely touchy no-no.
Benji, I love sharing this with you.
And I know I'm not the only one who experienced this. When you're the one who wants to be a bit more cuddly, you want a bit more affection, romance even, and the other person is like, no, I don't feel good about this. Oh, I'm not like that. No. And look, to each its own, 100%. You shouldn't force someone to do something that they don't want to do. But if you find yourself even older in these situations, I would say don't do it. Like, don't do it. This is gonna sound so bad, but it's not worth it. When you're shutting that part down, you're losing a big part of yourself. And you're not ever really able to truly connect with this other person because you're just not emotionally there, or like with the affection that you need from one another, you will never match. So one will have to change. And usually it is the person who is more affectionate. It's not worth to lose a part of yourself just to be with someone. Now, at this point, the guy who's sitting behind them was kind of being a little bit pissed of all the shenanigans that are happening.
Can't hear and can't see.
And when he tries to shut down Andy,
You don't shut up. My boyfriend over here is gonna come back there and pummel your ass.
And we have another classic that Andy is pulling out. Fight for me. Show them that you are my protector and my man. Now, my 2 sentences on it are very simple. I find it pathetic when a guy feels like he will show me how manly he is with aggression and violence, or when a woman expects that. Like a man finding, wow, you really do it. Ooh, I can't believe it. Show me a man who takes care of the baby as much as the mother does. Then I will say, well, you know what? Yeah, you're proving me something. You're proving me that you're an actual partner. I'm gonna be a little sharp, but I genuinely feel like when people think that that means something, I genuinely see them as people who never even passed like 2nd grade. I'm sorry. That's how I feel. Saying that though, which is becoming my catchphrase, I guess, there is a difference between how Andy is asking Ben to fight for her, right? Or setting this situation in some way, and having a partner who supports you and stands by you. Because I'm all about that. If I don't get along with someone because something happened or this person is treating me in some way, I wouldn't feel good if my man would be then bestie with this person, okay? Or be like, well, you know what, babe, that's your problem. I'm good with them. Yeah, but you being good with them makes me question the values that we share. You stand up for your partner or you support your partner because it's about the values that you share, not because you're trying to prove something. It's not about you're standing up for me. It's more like you're standing up with me, right? Because we both agree on this, because we share these values.
He owes you an apology.
Now, Ben gets punched in the face, but somehow he's taking it quite well.
Can you hold still right there?
Ben! It kind of felt good how after it, Andy was taking care of him.
Punch in the face part sucked, right? But the getting taken care of after the punch?
I mean, obviously he never experienced that because he never gave a chance to be in a relationship. But, you know, there are some perks, through love. They're basically giving us these small snippets, moments of authenticity when Andy is not playing, where they connect in some way. The question is, the wonky part is that we don't know, is Ben being authentic or not? By the way, sometimes when the biggest connection you feel with the other person is actually coming from they taking care of you or them taking care of you, it could be because you are feeling in some way empty, let's say, or depleted, you know? It's like you need to fill up your cup a little bit so you won't be totally persuaded if someone is just showing you for the first time that they take care of you. It's time for Ben to take it up a notch. And you know how they say? Ljubezen gre skozi želodec. You don't know that? Well, aren't you not Slovenian?
A woman loves a man who can cook, yeah?
Ben came up with the perfect plan. He's gonna cook for Andy, but also it's perfect because they could watch the game at his place. Oh yeah, Ben is the type of fella who makes sure that if I do something for you, I also benefit, okay? Balance. Little does he know that Andy herself is actually very pleased with this plan because she wants to watch the game also. But at the same time, she is on a mission. She needs to push this fella away. And what better way than moving too fast? Like you never brought your favorite blankie, a bunch of stuffed animals, decorate the toilet accessories to a guy that you're just dating. Please, we've all been... No, who came up with this? She also brought the horror of many households. A plant.
It's a baby fern, just like our relationship.
Carrie Bradshaw is probably glitching somewhere.
I don't do plants.
So let's talk about this thing in leaving your stuff, right? Because apparently this is a no-no in a relationship. Look, I see it in two ways. If you want to leave stuff at someone's place for the convenience of it all, then I don't understand how it wouldn't be just natural to say, hey, can I leave this and this here? But if you go the route of, accidentally, quote, right, leaving stuff behind, then it just tells you something about your insecurities. Because if you have to do that, then I would think you are craving like a sense of belonging. You want to reassure your place there, almost like saying, if I make myself a part of your life, then you can't leave, right? And in that case, I would again step back and I would try to understand myself better. Why do I need this reassurance? Can I get this reassurance in a different way by having a conversation with this person regarding commitment?
Thank you.
Ben is taking the whole situation quite well. It is not the best when he realizes that all his effort he put in this dinner, preparing the lamb, the special recipe which takes time, Andy doesn't eat meat.
Mary had a little lamb.
And Ben himself is so focused on making Andy fall for him that he also forgot that 2 days ago she was just stuffing her face with lobster when they were outside.
Get it?
Like, what's up with that? Was that like a miss from the directors, or was that intentional to showcase how unaware of who she is he actually is because he's performing in his own way? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. So I guess we go with the 20 years ago no of the relationship. She eats tofu. So they need to go to a restaurant. Ben needs to eat freaking grass. And on top of that, he can't even watch the freaking game.
This stuff's for cows.
If he thought that that was all that will be the fail of this evening, he got it wrong because Andy is determined to make him look bad in front of other people.
My boyfriend thinks I'm fat.
You see, she doesn't feel comfortable eating in front of him, so that's why she keeps on going to the bathroom every 5 minutes. Little does Ben know that she's actually sneaking to the kitchen because, the cool girl she is, she's actually watching the game and eating a sandwich.
Come on, get it back.
Mission successful. She ruined Ben's night like the true no girlfriend she is. They get back to his place, and in an attempt to not being exposed that she did in fact watch the game, Andy makes a move on Ben, but she does it in the typical no of a girlfriend. She calls his PP Princess Sophia.
Little big, I don't know, we will find out.
And voila, Ben can perform because how the F is he gonna feel strong and masculine if she's calling his king Curl, was it Curl? Cruel.
Crow the warrior king.
A princess. Andy feels like finally this will make this man go away. But Bess, is she in for a surprise? Because Ben be persistent.
Can I see you tomorrow?
At this point, Andy is confused. Like, what is up with this guy? Why does he keep dating me when I am so unbearable? She shows up at his work with a new puppy she got for the two of them.
It's gonna be a happy little family. Just the three of us.
She even names him by his PP. She buys him new clothes that are clearly not his style.
For me? Get out of town.
She leaves 15 messages every 2 minutes on his answering machine to really hone in that clingy and needy girlfriend that every man hates.
Hi, Sweetie Pea. It's me, Benny. It's Andy. Benny Bear.
She talked to his mom before she was ever introduced to her. She even freaking makes a family album of the mock-up of how their children will look like.
Our family album.
And yet, this man does not budge. Like, what is up with this shit? Now, of course, Andy is not aware that Ben has his own bet. But if there is someone who keeps up with whatever you throw at them, no matter how I can see, oh my God, he loves me despite it all. Bis, if I show you a mock-up of freaking children and you don't run, I'm running. The thing is, Ben is suffering and he is really trying to push through this whole situation. I mean, at the beginning, it looked like it's gonna be easy, breezy, beautiful. Andy was cool. Andy was sexy. But what she became right now,
I'm talking about the evil Andy now.
She's probably bipolar.
but a bet is a bet, and you need to persevere. So there are a couple of interesting insights when it comes changing in a relationship. The first thing is that Andy is basically a representation of someone who at the beginning, they are very low maintenance, let's say, easy, cool. But the more you go through dating and the more you get to know this person better, the more your real insecurities come out and you start to behave a little bit more, let's say, quote, real, right? Maybe those cracks start to appear and you're acting out of fear and insecurities. And to someone like Ben or to the other person, this comes across as you being totally different. If we would be more secure in ourselves, if we would trust ourselves, if we would trust in life, right? Then maybe this drastic change wouldn't happen because from the get-go, you would approach the situation in a very secure, authentic way. And even when fears would come up or insecurities would come up, you would be okay addressing it, right? Unless, of course, there's the second version of change. If the relationship is progressing, if there is a need for more closeness, or it happens naturally, some people do get afraid of that. And instead of recognizing that it's coming from their own fears, they're actually blaming it on you. You're the one who changed and suddenly wants more. Where is the cool girl from the beginning? And honestly, in that case, you know how I feel, I'm like, okay, good luck, have fun. If someone is not confident in addressing who they are or their fears and so on, insecurities in a normal way, you don't need to carry it in the toxic way. And the third one is the most problematic and dangerous one, when someone is presenting themselves in some way just to later on turn abusive. Now, either way, wherever the change is coming from, you know, there are always different outcomes, let's say. One is simply, you know, you realize that it's not a good thing and you walk away. You maybe work on it, you understand each other. Or the third outcome, which is unfortunately quite common, when you're just waiting on that version from the beginning to show up again in some way. And you just actually get stuck in a very unhealthy and unhappy relationships rather than recognizing for what it is and stepping away. And if I haven't said it yet, Ben could easily be a representation of that. He keeps on staying with Andy despite her craziness, quote, right? He never really talks about it. He never addresses it because he's just waiting for things to change. But again, because he never shows any intent of actually making things better, it could be a metaphor for how we are sometimes quiet and deal with shit just to still stay with this person.
Bennykins, I'm home.
Like, how the F did she even get a key? Well, Benny, don't you know that Andy is a resourceful woman? She actually talked with his landlord, so she got a copy.
Look, nobody likes Mr. Sniffles.
Yes, Andy is not only invading his privacy, but also his nose. Honestly, Andy is so proud of how she is slaying the whole thing, especially when she gives a top-notch performance regarding the plant that Ben just let die out.
No, honey, it's just sleeping.
You gonna let us die?
She makes a dramatic exit out, but look at Benny. He is right after her. Though this time, he is losing his patience. Like, he is communicating. She be acting a little bit crazy. This is not normal. Where is the cool, fun, amazing woman he met at the beginning?
The one who wanted to be a serious journalist, huh?
Because what he's looking at right now is a one-woman circus, and he is not having it. Finally, Ben is done. What's enough is enough. But the second he goes back to the apartment, well, he gets another good support from his colleagues. Buddy, it's only 4 days left. You can suck it up and do what you gotta do. According to them, despite Ben just breaking up with Andy, this is all solvable. He just needs to show the commitment and willingness to work on it in a way no woman can resist.
Couples therapy. Every time my wife wants to divorce me, I suggest couples therapy.
Couples therapy.
Honestly, I've heard about this. I've heard about men who are not actually interested in fixing something, propose couples therapy also as a tactic for something. When you think that, if someone is willing to go to therapy, it shows that they really want to work on it. And then you find out that that's just another trick that they figured out. Like, this bitches be evolving. Ben runs after Andy, who is walking down the street because she's like, I win, bitch. I have the article and this is done. He drops on his knees and he is begging her for freaking forgiveness.
You forgive me, sugar puss. Look, I don't know what I was thinking.
Honestly, it was out of line. I am willing to do anything needed for us to work through this.
Look, what do you think about couples therapy?
Andy is baffled. Like, how many times was this man hit in his head as a child? Huh? What's going on here? But I guess she did not manage to lose a guy in 10 days, so she needs to continue, Okay, let's go to the couples therapy. She knows just the doctor. The two of them go to the therapy, and it is a setup because the therapist is actually her friend. And therapy is therapeuting because they know in a second what is Ben's problem, especially as they didn't do the intimate part yet, okay? Now, Ben is saying that it's because she called his thing a Princess Sophia, but the therapist, you can't hide things from her.
When was it that you first realized that you were attracted to other men?
Oh.
What?
And for Ben to really show how committed he actually is, he is gonna let Andy meet his family. A little note here. The same as with intimacy. Meeting a family, meeting friends. Look, yes, it feels good. It shows you that this person is not hiding you, right? But that's where it stops. Any other meaning that you assign to meeting the family, aka, oh my God, he is committed. Oh my God, he's serious about me. Let's test that in the relationship, in how you treat each other, how he shows up for the relationship or you, not how he is with his family, or in Andy's case, when she gets all smitten because look at him with the kids. She is looking at this man as though she is looking at a fresh out of fridge bottle of beer. Because, she one of the boys. But you know how it goes. Oh my God, he is such a good, genuine guy. This is what he is actually like. Yeah, he says that he doesn't want to be committed. Yeah, he might ghost me 3 or 4 days at a time. But him playing with kids, that's the real thing. Wait, that sounds so wrong. Oh boy, did I do it myself. I still do it. And then I need to clock myself and I say, okay, he has a nice family. He's good with his family. But don't assign anything that you don't actually also experience between the two of you. Okay? Andy starts to almost kind of let her guard down. She has a wonderful time with Ben, with his family. His mother is so welcoming.
Don't you break his heart now.
And also, Bess, apparently, she is the only girl he ever brought home. If that doesn't make you feel special, it actually shouldn't, because this is a grown-ass man. And the fact that he never brought anyone home, no girl, yeah, he might be special in a different kind of way. I'm not saying it's not possible. It is not okay to have expectations that everyone should already have relationships, because you never know. But if someone is, successful, good looking, confident in his pursuit of women, the fact that he was never in a serious relationship or never introduced any of the girls to his family, not the green flag you think it is. We also assume that Ben himself is being authentic. We don't really know what changing him from his perspective, but right now on this trip, they are both just being themselves and connecting. I mean, Ben already proved that he would stay with her no matter what, that he is really into her. So maybe that's what she should lean into, letting him see the real her.
What's wrong?
It's just that when your mom hugged me today.
Unfortunately, Andy didn't get the memo that, he is staying with her not because he is really into her, but because he needs to score a job, but details.
She really hugged me.
There is a sense that maybe Andy herself doesn't really have that kind of access or never experienced that kind of closeness and a sense of belonging. And this is the first time they truly come together in their authentic selves. Princess Sophie is entering the tower. That was disgusting. Now, in real life, to me, this looks like when you have a safe environment, you also feel more confident of showing your true self, of being authentic, of being vulnerable. That's how Andy herself is letting her, let's say, her walls down. She's letting Ben get to know her better because Ben offered an environment where she can actually do that. And look, I'm all about safe environments. I have nothing against that, okay? But I do have a little bit of problem when you rely on safe environment to show yourself rather than work on building that trust and that safety to be who you are within yourself. It's much more beneficial for you as a person and also finding the right partner if you're okay with who you are, what are your needs, what are your expectations. You're also okay to exploring if there are things that you need to change to be a better partner, and then find someone who matches you there, then looking for someone to unlock that part. Because that's where these risky attachments can happen. When your sense of self is dependent on this other person, the second this person leaves or the second this person changes, your whole identity also crumbles. So let's start with building it within us and then expand with another person. So the trip is done. And if you don't understand that there has been a shift in their relationship, a shift in Andy herself, her curly hair will tell you that she is now a changed woman, an authentic woman, her true self, because, she doesn't have to straighten her hair anymore. I know that this was like a thing back in the day where the change of woman was represented through her hair, right? Now you know that she changed, which is almost like influencing us to always change our looks when we are ready for a next phase. Then, is that kind of like side-eyeing it, or it's not harmful? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about it? The whole way home, they're very smitten with one another. And while you are looking at Andy and recognizing that she is falling for this man, you kind of feel a little bit icky because yes, Ben also seems to be kind of authentic and everything. But as I said, there is no much difference in him. And we do know this, he still has a bet. But there is one simple clue. He bought Nick's tickets to a game that's gonna happen in 3 days. So even after the 10-day period.
Tomorrow night, my boss is throwing a party for that diamond account I was telling you about. I want you to come with me as my girlfriend.
And yes, I also was kind of confused because what do you mean you're asking her now to be your girlfriend when she was literally sharing family photo album with you, you had the dog together. Like, it felt a little bit weird, but maybe that's the thing, huh? Maybe it's showcasing how we get too attached to someone or we act as though we are together, even though there's no actual commitment established. Could be. So the two of them are now boyfriend and girlfriend, and we are experiencing true love. Now, did Andy fall for Ben because he stuck with her no matter what? He offered her this sense of worthiness and safety, and that just made her melt? Did Ben fall for Andy because of the emotional roller coaster he was experiencing? Well, that's usually how it happens in real life, but this is a movie, so all good, I guess. Back at work, Andy is also trying to back out of the article she promised she's gonna make because, spoiler, she now fell for the guy, but her boss is an evil little woman and she does not care.
Okay, but Lana.
No, but Lana, you'll do it.
It's the night of the party, and Ben picks up Andy, who is looking like a snack. They entered the party like the perfect couple they are, and it's obvious why.
Chalk one up to couples therapy.
Now, at one point, they separate. Ben is mingling with his future employees or clients. And when his boss notices how Andy is actually looking at Ben when he's mingling, doing business, and smiling at him all smitten, well, oh, he knows what that means. That's a woman in love.
Saw her, met her, she loves you, you win, get ready to pitch.
But the battle is not over because the two evil women will not let Ben just win like that. So they approach his friends and they say that Andy knew about the bet all along, so she was just pretending to fall in love so she can win. Okay? That's how they do it.
Tell him to enjoy his short-lived ill-gotten victory. We're going to talk to Warren.
Which honestly, I didn't understand why. Why didn't they just go directly to Andy and say, hey girl, so you know he was in a bet? But I guess they needed a little bit more minutes in the movie. So what this results in is the two guys going to Andy and kind of begging her to not expose that she knew about the bet because Ben is a great guy and he deserves the job. And obviously, Andy does not know what the fuck they're talking about because she did not know about the bet.
Act like you don't know anything about the bet.
And again, the cycle this went on, the path this took, no need. The two girls could just go to Andy, but voila. Now here's the thing. We know that both of them were playing each other, right? And I also know that there have been many discussions about who is worse. And I'm going to give you my 2 cents on it, okay? And maybe that settles it once and for all. Wow, I really think I am something, huh? So when it comes to Andy, I've mentioned it many times that she could be risking Ben falling for her because of the emotional whiplash, right? The roller coaster, like being cool at the beginning and then totally turning a switch on him. He was not taking a risk. He was actively making a woman fall for him. So the outcome for Andy would be heartbroken. You see the difference? Andy might have been risking hurting Ben and taking him on an emotional roller coaster that could turn out very toxic. Ben was aiming at that. So when you look from Andy's perspective, she's literally now hit with the realization that her sense of acceptance, her sense of worth and belonging and so on was based on a lie. Now, despite that, when Ben finds out that Lil Miss Andy was putting him through shit for an article,
You're Kroll.
he felt so betrayed, like he was not ever intentionally trying to make her fall in love with. Wouldn't it make more sense if he would be like, "Bis, so she not cray-cray?" Great. No. He is pissed because she was playing a game. But it makes no sense because you were also playing it and at that point even worse than she was. So, very confusing. Now, what was even more weird was that in the attempt for revenge, Andy, before she leaves, she sets up Ben to sing a song on the stage at a party. And then Ben makes her do it together with him. And we get like a 5-minute segment of them singing on the stage. But then again, you need to showcase your talents for future roles. Secure that bag, that future bag. The song is You're So Vain, which is kind of like showing, look, how ironic they are, singing to each other that they are the one who is vain, while them both being vain. Andy runs out, Ben goes after her, and he is fuming.
Drove me half insane for a goddamn magazine
Oh,
article.
yeah, and you told people you could make any girl fall in love with you, and I was exhibiting.
Now, would it make more sense when they confronted each other that this would be more of like, wait, you did the same thing to me? Like you were just playing me? This twinning. If we're not soulmates, I don't know who is. Ben looks at Andy and he's like, you wanted to lose a guy in 10 days?
Congratulations, you did it. You just lost him.
And I'm looking at this man and I'm like, Bis, you do know that you scored a job. Andy is much more emotional because clearly she is a woman. She is not angry. She is on the brink of tears.
No, I didn't, Ben, because you can't lose something you never had.
Mic drop. So the movie was trying to say, look, Bisses, you need to understand that playing games will hurt your chance at the real love. None of this would happen if they would just be authentic with each other from the get-go. And as I said it at the beginning, yes, makes sense. Be authentic. It's always a better choice. Like, it really is. The problem is that we still don't know where does this love come from. Does it come from her false sense of safety? Does it come from his emotional roller coaster? So it kind of feels a little bit, but. A couple of days pass and Andy is still rocking her curly hair because she is now her true self. And she also writes the article of how to lose a guy in 10 days coming from her true self. And her boss, well, it's not something she expected.
This shows me you're ready to be unleashed.
What's that? Will also Andy experience some win from all of this? I mean, Ben did. Ben scored a job. Tajikistan?
Well, the wind's not going to blow you there.
Yeah, Andy, sweetie, you're still at a woman's magazine, so let's calm down. This time, Andy will stand up for herself because if she is not allowed to write about politics in a woman's magazine, then maybe it's time for her to walk away.
Thank you for making it easy for me to turn down.
With a smile on her face, because how could she not be happy not only losing a guy, but also losing a job? Great, just great. Now we do get a little cameo, I guess, from Ben, because he did score the job, as I said it multiple times. It does sting him a little bit, you know?
Obviously, if I could do it over again, I'd do some things differently.
Oh my God, Benji grew a heart. Now remember that Ben had tickets for the Knicks game. And yes, I know what you're thinking. They are gonna meet and they are gonna come back together. But no. It's not empowering enough for this movie. Andy is at her friend Michelle's place and they're watching the game on the TV. And Ben is doing the same on his side. But there's a knock on the door. Both of the girls are a little bit like, who be that?
Okay, so then it's gonna...
Michelle.
It is the freaking guy who ghosted Michelle at the beginning, you know, because she was a little bit too much. Well, it turns out that after, I guess, 2 weeks, he understood that he actually missed her.
These are for you.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's not about being too much. It's about finding the right guy who will accept you're crazy. And yes, we do ignore that maybe he was just bored, maybe he couldn't score anyone else, and maybe he's gonna change his mind in next week. Because what changed? What changed? Well, it changed our sanity regarding love. Andy is looking at her friend who is now happy hugging this guy, and she realizes there is no such thing as driving a guy away, because the right guy will stay. On the other side, Ben's friend shoves the magazine, the How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days article, in his face. And he needs to really read about it. Because the article is actually praising Ben, okay? The article is not talking about, oh my God, these are the things you shouldn't do. The article is saying, aka Andy is saying, that these were the best 10 days of her life. And she totally lost a great guy. Now this pushes Ben to jump on his bike, rush through through the streets, left, right, jump over a cat. No. I'm exaggerating, but so is the movie. He chases Andy in a taxi. They pull aside and it is time for them to unite. Now, Ben is confident. I mean, he is just out of the rush on riding a bike. And Andy is emotional, full of tears. He wants to know if it's true what she wrote in the magazine. And Andy meant every word of it. Now, Ben also finally apologizes for his own behavior. Bis, please. Of course he didn't apologize. This is a rom-com from the 90s. The real evil witches are women. Really? Really? Not one sentence. You couldn't give him one sentence of just saying, I'm sorry for what I put you through? He wants to know where is she going. And when she tells him that she's going to Washington because that's where she can write about real things, he's like,
bullshit.
Ben knows what this is because he can, read women. She's running away. She's not gonna give him the I can't find serious work in New York bullshit. He pays the taxi and he takes his woman, who he also convinced to let go of her chance at success in the big city because, you got it, love. People, are we forgetting all women want is love? Jesus. He was basically doing her a favor. He was making her actual dream come true. Don't you just miss the classics where the guy not only scored his career, never needed to apologize, and got the woman while the woman was just there to make it all happen? Ta-da! If there's one thing I want you to take from this video is that no, the aim is not to find a guy who will accept you're crazy no matter what. It's about figuring out what is the crazy we're talking about and how can you create safety in yourself, trust in yourself that you don't even need to act in a way that you would then find magical if someone actually accepts it. We can all trust our individuality and connect authentically. Now, if you're interested in what kind of messages is the modern romance giving us, something like 2025, I made my analysis on Materialist, which also took me for a ride.